the classes, what and what not to do in PvP. I mean, not as much. And when to PvP a person, and when you'll get bounty. So, I'll be showing you how to escape combos and recover combos. Oh, pro tip. Whenever you feel like you're going to PvP in the server, activate fast mode. That's like really helpful because it reduces the lag you'll have. So let's equip portal. What was that? Oh. So I'm gonna just need to go to Hydrotown. Oh, and also when you're trying to practice a combo, go to the training dummy. Although the space is kind of small, the training dummy is nice because it's just there. And in order to locate it properly, go to Hydrotown. At the waterfall, go to the claw thingy on the left of it, and then just go over it, and then you should end up going to the training dummy area. If not, you probably went to the right. So, escaping combos is a very interesting art because you're really going to need to know when the combo is starting or when they're going to like try or the next move they're going to make. Because if I do this, and if he was an actual player, and he knew that I had, let me just a quick gravity cane, and they knew that I have gravity cane, they're probably going to know that I'm going to either try to do gravity cane X or gravity cane Z. So they're going to need to prepare for that. And something I would do is I would get ready, if I see someone running the same build, I would get ready to either use Portal X or the Portal M1 ability. The M1 ability is not really that much of an M1 ability. It's more of just a movement, throwing yourself away ability. So, yeah, that's one way to escape a combo. And also, in terms of combos, there's Ken tricking, which you can Ken trick by using your observation hotkey. Whenever you Ken trick, it means like you wait for the perfect moment to activate your hotkey, so that the opponent's attack misses. So if I wait for him to hit me, oh, that's interesting. If he tries to hit me when I have observation hotkey on, I'll dodge it. But depending on the ability, like Portal Z, I might not be able to dodge it. So what I'd do is I'd wait for the portal to be over, and then I'd activate my observation hotkey so that I could avoid the next ability, which is probably going to be a Gravity Cane Z if they're running my same build, or ability that does something like this or this. Another thing with PvP you should always look out for is the build your opponent's running. A build is like what they're doing. There's the Rusher build, there's the Tank build, and then there's Hacker. I think there's one build that I haven't covered yet, but I may cover in this video. So, I can check out this guy's build just by looking at the items he has equipped. I see Electric Claw, Buddha, Dark Blade, and Kabucha. So they're probably a tank, because they're probably going to, in terms of PvP, they're probably going to transform into their Buddhist form, either use Electric Claw to spam M1s, or Dark Blade to spam M1s. And then to escape, they probably use Kabucha X, and then run away from there. And a good skill to learn is to learn how to analyze your opponent. Like, just guess. If you see what they're using, like what I just did with the other guy, then you'll notice. If you know how to analyze, then you'll notice things that they could do with what they have equipped. So, say I switch to Spirit. If someone saw me, they'd probably say, hey, he's running a Spirit, he's using Spirit, so what he'll probably do, he'll probably end up using Wrath of Shu, and then Gravity Cane X, and then Frostfire Grasp, and then Gravity Cane Z, and then Superhuman Z, and then Superhuman C. If they knew that I would do that, then they could guess, oh, there's a move in this that I can't avoid, which is the Superhuman Z. But they should ask themselves, is that reasonable? Because by that point, I'm deep into the combo. So what he should really try avoiding is the Gravity Cane Z, because that is avoidable and doesn't break hockey. So if they do end up avoiding it, then they'll be out of the combo if they can escape fast enough. So that's one really good skill to know, how to analyze your opponent and based off of what they're using, know when and when not to try to escape. Because sometimes in combos, if you turn on your observation hockey too early, then you still won't escape the combo, and you would have just wasted your observation hockey for a couple of seconds. And that could prove to be very annoying. Another thing you should know and probably keep track of is V4. I have Angel V4, which is overall, I think, in my opinion, the best V4 you could have. But there are other opinions out there, and I do respect them. So V4 is when if you get your V4 bar to the maximum, you can transform. And when you transform, you're going to get maximum stats in everything. Melee, defense, sword, gun, and BLOX routes. Which, yes, that is really, really good. And that's why you need to monitor what damage you and your opponent have taken. Say, for example, you're at the half mark for V4, if you have V4. Then you could make a prompt guess and guess that your opponent is also somewhere around the half point for V4, as V4 grows when you take and deal damage. So if you deal the according amount of damage, then you'll probably have the same amount of V4, the same amount of your V4 bar filled as your opponent. And that can prove to be very annoying, as in, as soon as you activate your V4, your opponent can activate their V4, and then you still wouldn't be outmatching your opponent, but you would still have you would still be setting yourself up for something good. Another thing you should also know with V4 is, like, if your V4 is high and your opponent's dead, or your opponent's almost dead, I recommend just turning it on for old time's sake, just because it's going to be easier to finish them off. They probably won't be able to kill you if they do somehow make a crazy comeback. And it's just going to be overall helping you gain the bounty. So that's a professional tip that I hear a lot, so I take that to mind when you're going to PvP. Another thing with PvP is, I think I've said this a ton, but it's really important, observation hockey. If you don't have observation hockey and you're planning on going to PvP, I would be extremely careful, as in your opponent can slip out of your fingertips in a matter of seconds if you don't have observational hockey. Because observational hockey allows you to see your opponent even before they see you physically. So, say you can't see anything over there. If you activate observational hockey and you have enough levels on it, you should be able to see them. So, observation hockey can help you keep track of your enemy to see where they are, and that can really help you with aim. And aim is extremely important when it comes to PvP. If you have good aim, landing a combo shouldn't be as hard as when you don't have good aim. Good aim is when, like, you can anticipate where they're going to move, prediction, and then you can just fire. And if it hits, that's a sign that you have good aim. If it doesn't hit, it's okay. You can improve your aim over time just by practicing PvP. Another thing with aim is knowing, like, where and when your opponent's going to be somewhere. If you just randomly fire any ability at them, they could probably dodge it if you're just shooting it at a random position. And you're probably just going to be wasting your ability. So I doubt you're going to want to waste an ability because, like, it helps you the most in terms of PvP. As in, if you waste an ability, you're kind of giving your opponent the upper hand. And I highly doubt you want your opponent to have the upper hand in terms of basic PvP. Another thing you should keep in mind in PvP is when the opponent uses their moves. Although it sounds kind of like, wait, this sounds extra, why should I do this? If you know when your opponent has used a move, then you'll know when they might use it again. As in, if someone uses an ability on me and they miss, I'm going to know that that ability is instantaneously on cooldown. And if I have some idea of what the cooldown for that ability might be, then I'm probably going to be safe from that ability. And at any point, if the ability is like an ultimate ability, like Spirit V or Kitsune C or something, then when it's on cooldown, it's going to be really helpful to you because like you'll know that first of all it's on cooldown, and second of all they can't use that ability again unless they activate a certain ability or they're wearing an accessory that lowers their cooldown. And I just said another thing that we're going to cover, which is accessories. Accessories are, underestimated for the most part. There are some PvP accessories, and some accessories are just good for grinding and whatnot. I'd say a couple of insanely good accessories would be Hunter Cape, which, let me just go hook up the boosts. Hunter Cape does give you a lot of really good boosts, such as a speed boost and I believe a damage boost. It also boosts your HP. Look, it grants you 80% more fast run speed, 10% more damage on melee and sword, which is going to be really helpful for sword main. Oh, and also gun. What? That's insane. And then 750 more health. So Hunter Cape would be for like when you're not running a BLOX Boots main build. So yeah. And then another really good accessory, which is the accessory I usually wear the most, Valkyrie Helm. Valkyrie Helm grants you 15% more damage on sword, and 600 energy and 600 health. Although the 15% more energy just doesn't really sound good, it can come in like tons of handy if you know how to use it correctly. Another really good accessory that I'd recommend using would be Ghoul Mask. Ghoul Mask gives you a speed boost, I believe, 30% more fast run speed, 500 energy, 10% more, or 10% lifesteal on melee attacks, 2.5 on NPCs. So, it's good overall, but I highly doubt you're going to be landing melee attacks in the midst of a battle. So, it's going to be